Yes, it is us again. 14th session with me, Al, and the gang. This first is the Bajan Scout, Alan Pinder, and Avenger Only One. That is Keelan Phillips. Right. So, first week in the NBA, we had some interesting developments. So let me start with out west. They got two trainer teams out west, and none of them is Denver. Actually, Denver ain't win a game yet. So the two trainer teams are out west, Lakers and OKC. Well, we always thought that OKC would be up there.
Yep.
But Lakers, when everything balanced, so we'll see what happens there. But yes, so any surprises in the West there, Alan? That's short sample size, but anything, jot out in the West for you?
But yeah, the Lakers definitely stand out a bit. A lot of people didn't really like that hiring of JJ Redick. They figured that, LeBron's side wouldn't go too well. And then the whole thing with Bronny, people didn't think the Lakers were a serious team. But it looks to be working out pretty well so far. JJ's new offense is doing quite a bit for the Lakers offense. They are playing through Anthony Davis as he said he would, tailor the offense toward him a little bit more instead of LeBron James. So it seems to be reaping for some pretty good benefits right now. AD won player of the week last week, the short week. So yeah, Lakers are definitely a bit of a surprise. And it looks like what they're doing could be sustainable as well. But still very early days, so we have to see. Another big surprise is the other LA team, the LA Clippers, particularly hearing that James Harden was going to be down. Sorry, not James Harden. Kawhi Leonard was going to be down for maybe until early next year. James Harden has these guys playing like, the Rockets from a few years ago. So he looks almost to be in that similar type of form right now. So early days, but those guys are playing really well. The guys are saying it's a bit of additional base of attraction since Paul George isn't there anymore either. So we'll see if they can keep it up. But yeah, those are two of the bigger positive surprises.
Yes. What about you, Keelan? What do you think?
Yeah, only took the Lakers about 4 or 5 years, but finally they got what they wanted as AD. I think this is the year that AD is for sure the best player at Lakers. And that's what Laker fans and a lot of people, especially even Braun, wanted for a while, that Anthony Davis take that step and Braun could kind of have a secondary role. But that ended up happening. But it looks like this year, especially with JJ Redick, his schemes is more tailor-made for Anthony Davis. So that's a good look. The Clippers, I'm actually not shocked, right? Because being a Kawhi Leonard fan, it means that I've watched the Clippers a little bit more than probably the average person. And I've kind of seen this before. Like, what I mean by this is that for years, Clippers have always had like good to almost great depth. So like during the regular season, and Ty Lue is also a very good coach, right?
Yeah,
so what happens is that you look at this team and they go through stretches when Kawhi or PG isn't there, and you always say, "Oh, this team has a lot of depth. This team is a very good team. They're just missing one thing, and that's a superstar." I'm not falling for it again, by the way. I'm not falling for it again because what is gonna happen is that they're gonna look good during the regular season. They can surprise some teams, make the playoffs, and then if Kawhi is hurt again in the playoffs, they can be like, same old story. So I am not surprised because for the regular season, I've seen it before a little bit, but we don't think that they're gonna go far in the playoffs based on how cruel the West is. So it is I ain't falling for it again. But a good team.
Yeah, I must say Norm Powell and Zubac being 20-point per game scores did surprise me.
Norm Powell, not really. I always thought that in a bigger role, because he averages about 16, 17, being like the third, fourth option on on teams. So I think that in a secondary role that he could average 20. Zuma it's a person I can look. I didn't think that he'd be, a prime Dwight Howard, but
Yeah, but that's the best. He had injury in the best. Curry went down.
yeah.
Minor injury, it seems.
And we'll see how bad it is.
I think it's only
But
2 games or something
they
like that.
were behind the eight ball from the beginning, and this will put them further behind. Because I don't see them recovering from. We'll see how much talk about depth that Steve Kerr was talking about. We'll see how much depth they have now. No, Curry's not there. They gotta look to see how they could, short a 20-point score. So we'll see what happens with the Warriors. But out east, we had a couple of developments out east that, he's starting to, some things starting to be surprising. Well, nobody's surprised about Boston. Boston really looked the part. I mean, the dismantle work the New York Knicks. They really looked the part. So, and it seems that Tatum has some motivation, extra motivation. I don't know from where, but he has some extra motivation. And he's really, pushing it. So we'll see how that goes. But Cavaliers, we talk about the Cavaliers. You always thought they're a sleeper team. But to me, they're thereabouts, but they just seem to pick up injuries at the wrong time, basically. But yeah. So what do you think about the East there, Alan?
Yeah, Boston looks good, as you said. They look good against the Knicks, but they only had the Pistons, and which they struggled with, and the Wizards afterwards. So relatively soft, good, nice, smooth runway to try and take off the season. That's pretty good for them. Orlando's looking pretty good as well too. Surprised to see the Hawks. Trae Young, I mean, he's the only show in town right now, but him playing with the young guys like Dyson Downs and whatnot, who we were talking about our fantasy section, they're looking pretty good right now. I mean, I don't think they're going to sustain that, but yeah, I think Trae Young is one of the leading scorers in the league right now. I think he's about with 30 points, and his usage rate is through the roof. So yeah, he's been looking pretty insane so far. Philadelphia 76ers, they got the first win of the season, only 1-2, but this is the issue with them. If Paul George and Embiid are going to be missing games, they're going to be dropping some of these games early. Or they're going to be doing this often, and they're going to be 1-3 certain weeks, 1-4 other weeks. They're like 11th right now. I mean, it's just early, but if this continues, it's going to really hurt their season, and we're going to see how it's going to affect them later on in the season. The other surprise I would say is Indiana Pacers. They've looked particularly bad to start the season. Halliburton, I think, had a scoreless game on national television against the Knicks. So, yeah, that was a pretty bad look for him. So, the team is struggling a bit out of the gate. You figure with the continuity they had coming out for their Eastern Conference last year, they would look a little better to start the season, given it's not a whole lot of new pieces to integrate in. But they're having some early season struggles, and they're only going to go as far as Tyler Burton leads them. So if he looks worse than he did, he had a hamstring injury, the team is definitely going to be into some bad days. But I think it's early days. I think they should be able to turn this around as well.
Yeah, what about you, Keelan? What do you think about the East?
Yeah, not really gonna talk about Boston a lot. Boston's a very good team. I mean, is what it is. As you said, Tatum is having a early front running MVP start, but Boston's not here. That don't really surprise me. Magic either. I always thought that they were a team. They are a young team that is improving. Banchero and Wagner look good to start. Atlanta, as Alan said, we should talk about a trying to say a laugh because I had to pick up Dyson Daniel about 3 of mine because boy, he looked like a good he's a good little he complements I think Trae Young because he doesn't need the ball a lot offensively. He can knock down open shots. He's a very good defensive player. Like he does all that little things. And then Trae Young, I think Trae Young was getting to the point where he was getting disrespected in a way, like underrated. Like it's not a lot of people that average like 25 and 10 over their sleep. And he's one of them, right? So I thought that people were kind of looking at him in the wrong light. Next, next is always just next. Who else here? At 76ers, yeah, that's another team that was thinking about it more over the week and watching the games. And if Embiid and PG miss too many games, well, not too many, miss like that could really affect their standing. They're not gonna like this team is going to struggle when two of them are not there. Like really struggle. And Maxey is gonna put up points and stuff, but like I think they lost to the Raptors or something. It's like yeah, like we don't think Raptors are a good team. Still early, yes, but and then with them missing games, will they have enough chemistry to really gel in time for the postseason? We already know like how bad the Pistons, Wizards, Hornets is about. But two teams, Indiana Pacers, as you said, for a team, we think this team is a very good offensive team, and they look pretty anemic offensively to start. Right? You said Halliburton had his first scoreless game in God knows how long. But our favorite team with our favorite coach, Bucks and Dark Rivers. Well, look, 1 and 2. I don't know. I don't know. I would think that after another year, it would seem like Dame and Giannis will have better chemistry, but it doesn't look like they just have as much chemistry as you would think their skill sets should have. Like their
True.
skill sets, you would think that this is a match made in heaven. A sharp shooting guard that can shoot off the dribble range from down yonder, like playmaker, all of that. Giannis, like 7 foot slashing monster. And yet, like, I don't know, like the chemistry just isn't there. I don't know. Doc now has Lakers' favorite head coach again, Darvin Ham as his assistant. So that's just a good old recipe for success over there. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, I want to say one thing. Trae Young, I think he has, how should I put it, a stigma on him. Remember, he got traded for Doncic, right?
for Luka, yeah.
And I think he always thought that that he was not that good. I don't know. You didn't really think you're going to play for the Hawks. Hawks perennially don't be that good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a half good player will look good, in Hawks, right? But I think he's a little bit better than half good. And they don't get many televised games. So, you really don't see his, you don't see his production as much as you would see one of the other guys like saying Doncic, Curry, some of the other people that get nationally televised games. But we can't stop talking about the East and don't mention the unveiling of the statue outside of Miami of Dwayne Wade, or purported to be Dwayne Wade. What's your opinion about that, Keelan? Since you're close friend to a man that is a Miami fanatic. So I wonder what is your take on that statue, really?
Okay. I actually haven't thought to think about it yet, right? But I have been scouring social media, right? All I want to say is I don't want this anybody work. I'm sure it's a very tough job, right? All I'm gonna say, I think I need to start taking a course in statue making. I think the industry is lacking. I think we as a society are lacking in terms of statue making. I don't know. There was a clip going viral with Wade and his son, and if you know looks, you know looks. Like it was a look like Yeah, they done mess you up. like he go like it looked like his son was saying, "Yeah, I can roast you. Let me get off camera because this is not you. This is
Yeah,
somebody else."
it is. It is. Yeah, it was.
It
To me, it
was
was. I thought it was something for Halloween or something, but it
oh
didn't.
Lord. Yeah,
Seriously, I thought it
it
was.
was tough.
I thought it was saying Halloween, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
put this
I
Halloween thing out there. You know
I
what I mean?
if you know Twitter, if you know Twitter, I thought it was NBA Centel and not Central. This is
Yeah.
like I thought it was a meme.
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was a
Scary.
parody thing. Yeah, like honestly, the pose is fine. Just the face is literally not doing
Yeah,
it. The pose is
yeah. I
literally
ain't
not.
like doing it. But
Yeah,
anyway,
It's quite odd
my
because
eye for art may not be that good, right?
it's quite
So
odd because it went through multiple people. They would have seen it ahead of time from what I understand. I think Wade even would have seen it. So
have they ever seen
um,
doing it?
I think Dwayne Wade has seen Dwayne Wade. I think
No, he
he's
likes it. Well, he publicly said that he loves it. Now, obviously, he might say
he gotta
differently,
say that,
yeah,
you know.
but
well,
you
I
know, he
was
has to say that. Yeah, he can't go there.
yeah,
So, what is the
I
worst
can't go
tattoo
on.
ever?
I can't go on. And people put a bronze statue of me outside the arena, and they say hate it. I mean,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
doing it
So,
is a like a god, and I
he
think they
might
got a
have
road
to.
name after you or something,
Yeah,
Wade
yeah, yeah.
County or
Also,
something,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, there's a road.
I think that you gotta say that, but I wasn't convinced. But anyway, he got a statue. I may never get a statue anywhere, not even my house. So I can't really fault the I can't fault the man. I
It's
can't fault the
true.
man his statue. So
It's true.
I leave that one alone.
Mhm.
But of course, you know, basketball, the NBA, you know, the fancy league. And our man, Alan Pinder, the Bajan Scout, he is, you know, he's like the fancy dude. So what do you have for us, Alan?
Well, going to the fantasy, we were figuring that Luka and Jokic would have been the top two, you know, the top point guard, top center. But first week, it looks like AD and LaMelo Ball are two of the top players. I mean, AD had a great week with the Lakers, and LaMelo Ball, all people weren't looking for him to be that great, but a little bit short. Him coming off of those that ankle surgery, he's looking very good so far. Cam Thomas, I think people were looking for him to explode, but I'm not sure if everyone was necessarily looking at him to be, 30 points per game. So if you manage to get those guys in your league, you probably got them at good values considering production that they're giving you right now. In terms of some guys that are a little bit on the downswing, I see Kaminga and RJ Barrett. People are dropping them in leagues a little bit. I think Kaminga might be okay this week with Curry being out for a few games, so you can probably hold on to Kaminga. And RJ Barrett, I think people probably forgot about him a little bit with his injury, but I think he's coming back this week. So he
There's a game
was.
actually.
Oh yeah, there you go. So
Yeah, game
yeah, I
after
think
there. Yeah.
20 points per game again, five boards, 5 assists. So if he's still available in your league, definitely pick him up. And as we mentioned earlier, some guys that are still available in a lot of leagues, but being snatched up pretty quickly. Guys like Norman Powell for the Clippers, doing very well. Again, Keelan said he was expecting that. So if you were that smart early on, you should be in good state. You should be in a good state right now. Another warrior, Andrew Wiggins, had a terrible year last year. Apparently, had some personal issues that he was dealing with. I sure he wasn't really looking for him in fantasy this year, but he's doing pretty well to start the season. So you can definitely pick him up if he's available. And as we mentioned earlier, Dyson Daniels, perfect fit in that Trae Young, playing extremely well, getting some points, assists, boards, a little bit of everything, steals. So yeah, those are a few guys you guys can look at, see if they're available in your leagues.
Yeah, well, we also got to talk about the Real Bajan League, really. Um, right now, where you are, Alan, in the Real Bajan League?
I am second right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm in the middle of the pack,
Second.
and
Yeah.
my only aim is to beat Adrian Downs, really. So if I come seventh and he can eighth, you know, that's my
It's a
job
good
done
lead for
there,
you.
right? So really and truly, we are. It's still early, you know.
Yeah.
I noticed
Points are pretty close overall.
I think he has Curry, so he may need to put another spice. Not Curry.
Ice for this week.
Use Curry. He won't be able to use Curry. But of course, we cannot leave court in session without having our, pick five. Last week was a good week for one Keelan Phillip. Sorry. One Alan Pinder. who got 4 out of 5. Keelan Fitz got 3 out of
Boo.
5, and I got 2 out of 5. So I gotta make some amends this week. So let's go. On Tuesday, we have New Orleans at Warriors. Warriors without Curry.
Pals.
Going with the Pels. That's Keelan.
Yeah, I'll go New Orleans as well.
You're going with them. I will go with
Yeah,
Warriors
Saints bad.
just because you all going with the Pelicans. I feel the Pelicans will win though, but I will
You
go.
trying to make us on ground.
And then on
Yeah.
Wednesday, we have LA Lakers at Cleveland. Oh, this is going to be a good game.
Mm.
Ooh.
LA Lakers at Cleveland.
I go with home team. Caps.
Yeah, I might actually go to home team as well. Yeah.
All right. You're going with the home team. So it's
They got some sites that they control 80. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I got my Lakers. Not that. I'm not convinced about their head office or even the home management. But I am a Laker from since 19 ever. So I
Right.
got to pick them. Then on Thursday, we have San Antonio Spurs at Utah.
Spurs.
Yeah, you would take Spurs.
Yeah, man, me loading.
Yeah. Ooh. Let me go with Jazz. Let me go with the home team for this one.
Okay,
Yeah.
A little better to the home teams.
All right,
Yeah,
I will go with
Dodgers.
San Antonio. I will go with the Spurs. On Friday, we have Denver at Minnesota. Not a good game. Denver is 0 and whatever. Minnesota really, well, Minnesota is no.
Them is 2-1.
There's 2 and 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think good Denver.
Denver. Who are you, Alan?
Yeah, Timberwolves for me.
I'm going Timberwolves. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. All right, again with Minnesota.
You pick versus.
Yeah, I use what I call the Pythagorean expectation. All right, and I came up with that the Minnesota Timberwolves for me.
Scientific answer. Like that.
And then the final game in the pick 5 on Saturday, we have Miami at Washington. I go with Miami just so that I won't be following anybody.
Well, again with Miami because the Wizards suck. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree. Go with the Heat as well.
the Wizards.
Right.
The Wizards.
So everybody going with Miami.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I mean, they got Jordan Poole and you still going with Miami. I don't get it.
Hey, they have Jordan Poole. Is why I'm going with Miami.
Well, that's it for our court in session. And for right now, the court is adjourned.